So today we're looking at modifying container images and installing RPMs. So this process can be used to install, say, Hotfix RPMs, or maybe you have a container that requires extra packages, like maybe a storage container that you need to integrate with a NetApp system or whatever it might be. This is the process you would use to modify container images and install additional RPMs or update RPMs in those container images. So we go to our terminal and we have a look at our containers prepare parameter file. So we can see that this one was created with that command at the top. So this is just the default file. And then down the bottom here, I've added the two containers I want to modify. So I want to modify ironic conductor and ironic API. And what I want to do is I just want to append them with the tag -hotfix. And I'm going to be installing RPMs from these directories. So that directory will go to ironic conductor. This directory will go to ironic API. So this is Red Hat OpenStack Platform 16, not TripleO. So you'll need the credentials for the registry, but the same process would work on TripleO as well. Because I need credentials, I've just added that to a different file, so I don't have them on the screen here. So that's all we do. So let's go have a look at these directories and see what we have in each of these directories. So for the ironic conductor, we're just installing ironic conductor and ironic common. And for the API, we'll be installing ironic API and ironic common. So it just takes all the RPMs you've specified in those directories and installs them in the container, basically the same way it would if you had, say, a Docker file and you were building a container. So the thing you need to be careful of is dependencies. If you try and install something, you need to make sure you have all of the dependencies included in these directories. Otherwise, you will have dependency problems when you try and build the containers. So once we've set up our container image prepare file and we've got the RPMs in the directories, we've pointed the container image prepare file at the directories. Let's just review those again. So what we do is we don't have any excludes or anything like that. We're basically just following the documentation as it is written here. But for me, I find this a bit confusing because we kind of blank out the additional information and the context for where that's included. So I will make sure this file is included in my GitLab and I'll share it in the description, just so you've got the full context and you can see how it works. Basically, we just specify push destination again, and then it includes whatever container you want to modify. It could be Horizon, could be anything at all. Then the modifier role is TripleO modify image. Give it a tag. Again, it's arbitrary, it can be whatever you want. It'll use the tasks from RPM install.yaml, which is just an Ansible playbook, and it'll take all the RPMs from your RPM path. So once we've got that, we can just run sudo OpenStack TripleO container image prepare -e, pass it that file that you've created, and then I'm just passing it my credentials as well in a separate file, but you can have them all in one file, it's fine. So we'll run that. So we'll let that run and we will come back in a minute to take a look at how we can include that file in our undercloud and also how we can include it for our overcloud deployment. Okay, so once that's finished, we can just scroll back up in our terminal here and we look for ironic, ironic, and we can see we have 3 hotfix containers here now. So they're the containers that we want to use. They have our new RPMs and the patched version of ironic. So the only thing we need to do, we don't really need to change anything because it should already be there, but it needs to exist in the undercloud.conf file. Containers. So we can see that I have it there as my container images file. And to include it in an overcloud deployment, we would look in templates at the deploy.sh. And we need to make sure that it's included in the templates in the environment files that we're providing along with our templates. So in this case, it's ironic because I need to update ironic on the undercloud. So all I would do now is OpenStack undercloud install, and that will go ahead and redeploy with the latest version of that container. And I've already done this just so we can have a quick check. Just clear that out. So we can see here that now Ironic API and Ironic Conductor are running with the hotfix containers. So that's all there is to it. The main takeaways are just make sure you have all the dependent RPMs. You don't want to just put like one of those and it requires a million more. You'll end up in dependency hell. So just double check the requirements for your RPM and what dependencies there are. Make sure they're all in the directory. Make sure you update your containers image prepare file or whatever name you want to give it. So make sure you update your file to include separate push destinations and then an includes argument and the container that you want to patch. And that's it. That's as easy as it is to apply a hotfix or to install any RPM that you might want in one of the containers that don't already exist. Same's true of TripleO, so I hope that is helpful if you need to do the same.